Play ball!
If they don't win, it's a shame. It's 1-2. They fight you out of the old ball game.
What's up, guys? Tito Round Trippers here for episode 4 of Tito Talking Tribe, the season in review and Little World Series preview. Please follow us, Abraham Drinkin', on all social media platforms, and this show is available wherever you get your podcast: YouTube, Alexa, stop, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TikTok, Instagram. Okay. First and foremost, not my favorite subject, but always something a lot of fans want to hear about, trade rumors, specifically Josh Naylor. Wanted to lead with this just to get it out of the way. I personally don't have a horse in the race whether we trade Josh Naylor or not. I'm fine with him staying here. He's had some big moments for us. He's a decent defensive first baseman also. But, we do have a lot of options at first base in the organization overall. Manzardo. The name escapes me. The Double-A guy is really good, also at first base. My Double-A knowledge is the worst of our three major affiliates. And also David Fry, who obviously finished the season strong. He's going to get his elbow fixed. He could play a number of defensive positions, and first baseman is certainly one of them. So it seems like the narrative here, with a lot of these examining the off-season articles and stuff that have happened in the coming week or so, or the past week or so, since the Yankees eliminated us, have been basically speaking to Josh being all but gone. But it splinters in some pretty wild directions. My favorite one has him going to Seattle for Logan Gilbert. Now, normally you've got to pay a premium for pitching. I feel like value to a team, I haven't had time to take a deep dive, but I feel like Logan Gilbert is something like the pitching equivalent to Josh Naylor. So when you factor in that you usually got to pay a premium for pitching in trades, I like that one. If Seattle says yes, they need a first baseman, they're starved for hitting in general, they have an exemplary rotation, hands down known as a top 5 rotation in baseball. Probably most pundits recognize it as the best rotation that did not make the playoffs this year. So that makes sense on some levels. We'll see where that goes, whether it ends up being exactly Logan Gilbert or not. Also, with his Canadian ties, there's talk of Naylor to the Blue Jays for maybe Vlad, and obviously we'd have to add some assets to sweeten the pot there. I don't like that as much as the Logan Gilbert trade, but that could be cool. I mean, we'd have to spend some money. Guerrero would be more expensive than Naylor. We'd have to give up more assets. I don't know how realistic or feasible that one is. That's why I don't like, in general, spending a ton of time on the trade rumors. But, so we'll see. Like I said, a lot of people have Naylor all but gone. Interestingly enough, Ulysses S. Rant brought over Andres Jimenez is covered up by the tapestry. There's 5 gentlemen on that poster for 2025. And they are Tanner Bibby, Stephen Kwan, Jose Ramirez, Emmanuel Clase, and, like I said, Jimenez is covered up by the tapestry there. So, for what it's worth, 5 people on our poster for 2025. Josh Naylor's one of them. Is it a coincidence, or is it because he's as good as traded? That I don't know. Moving on now, so we can finish off with our, Tribe season in review and send-off. Onward to the World Series preview. Large market fantasy. The networks love it. It's the LA Dodgers versus the New York Yankees for like the billionth time. That's a slight exaggeration, but these organizations have met in the World Series in 1941, 1947, 1949, 1952, 1953, 1955, 1956, 1963, 1977, 1978, and 1981. Good year I was born. So, a couple interesting things in that stretch. All those meetups, the last time the Dodgers prevailed in one of these, so maybe I'm crazy for saying Dodgers in 5. Speaking of 5s being wild, 1955 is the last time that the Dodgers prevailed in a World Series against the Yankees. So you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4-game winning streak for the Yankees, and overall the Yankees have, I don't have the exact tally, but they have gotten very much decisively the better of this World Series matchup with the Dodgers. Yikes, yeah, 1955 is the last time the Dodgers took one of these. I have them winning it 5. Freeman and Betts cement their legacy. Only Anthony Rizzo has a ring on the Yankees, interestingly enough. Now, I knew with the Dodgers winning the 2020 World Series and the Yankees not being there since 2009 that the Dodgers would have more people with rings. But yes, the Dodgers have a handful of people with rings, mostly thanks to that 2020 World Series. And yes, Anthony Rizzo, the one and only Yankee with a World Series ring. So if you subscribe to the whole playoff experience, championship pedigree thing, the Dodgers have the Yankees walloped there. Now, personally, from a fan, vested interest standpoint, like most Midwesterners, I don't have a horse in the race as far as particularly wanting the Yankees or Dodgers more. I just, 1955 is a long time ago to keep a storied franchise like the Dodgers down. The Dodgers get it done this year. And why not in 5, since they haven't gotten the best of this particular head-to-head World Series matchup since 1955. On the eve of the World Series, I also wanted to tip my cap. Rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela. He was a beast, took the league by storm. I believe 81, again, good year, the year I was born. Dodgers went to the World Series his rookie year. Someone in a group text sent a split of his first 8 starts, and the league caught up to him a little bit after that, but man, that guy was a hell of a ball player, really captivated the community and was a colorful figure as well as a damn good pitcher. So, R.I.P. Fernando Valenzuela on this World Series front. That's about what I have here for the World Series. 77, 78, and 81, when Reggie Jackson was earning that Mr. October nickname. Man, almost Buffalo Bills-like here, baseball version. It was Yankees in 6 in 77, 78, and 81. So 3 times in 5 years, the Yankees won every head-to-head World Series matchup, all 3 of them that happened in 5 years with the Dodgers. And they did them all in 6 games with a game to spare. I also wanted to say of note, throwing it way back, that 55 World Series, last time Dodgers won this head-to-head matchup with the Yankees in the World Series, 1955, Hall of Famer Gil Hodges drove in both of the runs in Game 7. It was a 2-0 Dodgers victory. Every home team won until the Dodgers won a Game 7 of the World Series in Yankee Stadium. That cannot be easy to do. So yeah, shout out to Hall of Famer Gil Hodges for driving in both runs and that decisive historical series. And overall, I guess, center fielder Duke Snider hit 4 home runs that series. So, fun blast from the past. The last time, until now, in my prediction, the Dodgers got the best of the Yankees in a head-to-head World Series. So that's it for the World Series. So finishing off the show, I'm not going to do a ton of looking ahead, but going to do some accomplishments and stretches of note of the season and just stuff like that, of how the season got rolling and stuff. And then maybe a little after Thanksgiving, when a lot of people around here are ready to hear about some warm weather sports, we'll do a little bit of like peeking ahead, a whole 2.5 months till spring training type deal or something like that, with more looking ahead. This was mostly World Series preview, 2024 season in review type deal. So I wanted to say, I didn't get to count the sweeps, but we had approximately 10 series sweeps this year. And we never lost more than 3 games in a row. We were swept twice, I think, because we only had 3 or 4 3-game losing streaks all year. And that's pretty good in the scope of a 162-game season, especially factoring in all the winning streaks, all the sweeps we had. They kept having the meme of Bart Simpson with a broom of the logo of all the teams we were sweeping, and he was really gathering up some brooms for a while there. That was cool. To rack up about 10 sweeps and only get swept about twice. Jose Ramirez, for the 7th year in a row, will be a top 6 MVP vote getter, we presume. Crazy. I'm pretty sure top 6. I know it's the 7th year, and I think top 6 is the barometer they use for some reason, not top 5. Maybe because he had a couple 6th-place finishes. But either way, impressive. 7 years of your career. If not, I don't know if it's consecutive. If it's not consecutive, it's probably close to it. But either way, 7 years of your career to be a top 6 MVP vote getter. Yeah, that's impressive. Resurrecting the careers of Ben Lively and Matt Boyd, very impressive. Can't say enough about our pitching coaches. Just want to cover my ears when I hear rumors of Willis going anywhere. He's not following Tito to the Reds. They're happy with their pitching coach. People worry about that, and I don't think he's going anywhere. He's as safe as an assistant coach could be in this crazy world. I don't think he'd leave for a lateral movement. I don't necessarily see him getting a manager job next year. But anyway, Ben Lively, man, I think that he's going to bounce back and be really good. Not really good, but he'll be a sturdy pitching option in 2025. He exceeded his career innings total by a good bit. And that total was from 2020, I believe, 2019 or so. So I think it was 2019 because, 2020 was the COVID year when no one had their career high in innings. So when you haven't had your career innings high in 5 years and you exceed it by like 60 or so innings, of course he hit the wall and stumbled, was initially left off some playoff rosters. But, boy, he was really a sturdy arm when we had people dropping from the rotation like flies there. He helped hold us together for a while. And I think, he just got burned out way over his career high in innings by the time he was faltering at the end. So with that fatigue factor, hopefully not a factor next year, I'm looking for, Lively to be a surprisingly sound pitching option for us next year. Boyd is a free agent. Let's hope it works out. You shouldn't exactly have to break the bank for a guy like him. No good pitching is cheap, especially by the Dolan standards. But of course, I'd love to have Boyd back, but assume he'll be back because the caveat is his contract situation. I'm fairly reasonably confident for someone who worries, as they should, about any Guardians free agent coming back. I'm fairly reasonably confident Boyd's coming back, but he is a free agent. So, Boyd and Lively resurrecting their careers. They have both not been relevant in the big leagues this decade. It's 2024. Incredibly impressive. The Guardians went 3-1 in March, set the tone for this hot streak. We had 2 5-game winning streaks in April, interestingly enough. I knew there was a 9-gamer. That was May 17th to the 26th, and that started with a sweep of the Twins. And, back in May, in a simpler, more innocent time, we were convinced the Twins were our biggest threat, and we didn't play them so hot last year head-to-head when they took the division. So that was really, really cool. We swept the Twins, and that's when I think, myself included, a lot of the bar room and water cooler chatter really started ramping up. Like, hey, man, this is a good start. We're weathering this Bieber injury. We swept the Twins. Okay, let's see where this goes. And sure enough, we were on to something because that 3-game sweep started a 9-game winning streak from then to carry over. So that was really cool. Got to cut this a little shorter than planned due to technical difficulties. Tito Talking Tribe, thank you for watching on Abraham Drinking. Stay tuned for the Honest Dave Sports Report every other Tuesday at 7. Till next season, go Tribe.
Play ball!
If they don't win, it's a shame.